What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim, back with another video, and today I want to give you guys my review on Fallout 76. Bethesda as a company has not changed. Now, that is a really good statement. That is also a really bad statement. And it's because gamers, myself included, expect more. Systems that were great 10, 15 years ago may not be so great now. Brent just did a video reviewing The Last of Us, and he talks about, in his opinion, how archaic a lot of the systems were. At the time, The Last of Us was revolutionary and groundbreaking. By today's standards, there are some things in the game that other games have emulated and done better. Likewise, Bethesda has, from the beginning of time, always made really good open-world exploration games. The problem is, they've taken that same recipe and they really haven't expanded on it. As where other games have come along and plagiarized the heck out of them and done it better. And now we're in a situation with Fallout 76 where Bethesda is kind of scratching their heads thinking, well, this worked for Fallout 3, this worked for Fallout New Vegas, this worked for Fallout 4. The recipe is great. Just add multiplayer and let people go explore and have fun. And as you're seeing, based on the very, very violent outreaction to the game from both fans and from media, which is somewhat surprising, Bethesda's like, uh-oh, that's really not what people wanted. Yes, the recipe works. Yes, Fallout is amazing as an idea. The problem is the execution of 76 is lacking in a lot of very, very bad ways. And there's a lot of systems in play in the game that are broken, and there's a lot of things in the game that we're missing from previous Fallouts or from games in general. Coming from a PC master race world, I can tell you the number one thing PC gamers look forward to in gaming: customization, toggling field of view, toggling draw distance, toggling graphics. Most PC gamers are willing to pay the PC tax, so to speak, in order to customize an experience best suited for them, best suited for their hardware. That's what I love about the PC universe, is taking hardware and stretching it out farther than you should by changing certain things, by changing draw distances to get a higher frame rate, to get a lower resolution. In my case, to push an ultra-wide monitor. What trade-offs do I have for that? Bethesda as a game, and Fallout 76 as a game, does not have those options. Those are really cookie-cutter options in just about every major game that comes out. Why it was omitted in 76 is beyond me. The fact that the game is going to take a little over a month to provide ultra widescreen monitor support is very baffling. I don't understand that. But here we are. That's just one example. I'm not going to beat up the options on the computer settings too much, but I want to explain that this is not something that's trivial. And the reason it's not trivial is because if they can't get that right, what can they get right? There's a lot of systems in play that made Fallout uniquely Fallout. One of the major systems in the game was the role-playing element and being able to build your character however you wanted, whether you wanted them to max out in strength, whether you wanted them to be a smooth talker in charisma, whether you wanted them to be just pure lucky and find random things all over the place and have the mysterious stranger come out at the last second and deliver that great kill shot to the enemy. And Fallout always worked on that premise. Fallout 76, in an effort to bring the multiplayer world together, took a lot of those systems away. And it turns out those were really the glue of the Fallout system, at least as we're seeing now from the fans and from the media, that people really, really wanted to explore and play with. So yes, you do add the experience of getting to play with your friends. And I can tell you, I am absolutely in love playing this game with my wife. We are having an absolute blast together, bugs and all. We laugh a lot more than we should. We have to restart the client because our quests are missing. The game crashes randomly. Our camp looks really, really janky because the geometry doesn't always snap together quite right and things just don't look the way that they should. But you know what? It's a great experience because I'm getting to share that with her. Now, I can't say that for everybody else who has a lot of friends who are constantly playing games with them. So then they might look at it and go, oh, this online experience is not nearly as good as other online experiences. But in my unique situation, my wife doesn't play a lot of games. And for whatever reason, the Fallout franchise has always really captivated her. It's always captivated me. And in our situation, it works a lot. So I'm biased in that and saying, you know what? I am having a great time and I am thankful for this game, but it can be better. And that's what frustrates me, and that's what really makes me decrement my review score significantly because of the systems in play that are broken, because I know how great Fallout 3 was when it came out, how revolutionary those systems were. And I remember when Fallout 4 came out and people said, okay, well, it's still good because it's Fallout, but we wanted to see more. And now you're going a step beyond that in 76, and it's still, people are, okay, it's Fallout, but we want to see more. And even Assassin's Creed had to totally revolutionize the way they do games. Tomb Raider had this reboot a couple years ago. So other franchises have picked up on the fact that what worked in the late 2000s, what worked in the early 2000s even, isn't necessarily working today. And unfortunately, Fallout 76 is really, really not aware of that. And it's very clear by the things that they're trying to fix now, and it's very clear by the options that they're trying to put in at the last minute. And I do appreciate it. I knew what I was getting into when I bought the game. I played the beta on the Xbox One X. I played the beta on PC. I knew what the state of the game was when I bought it. I still willingly bought it. Again, for me, my unique situation, knowing that my wife would be there to play with me, having a lot of fun with it, and enjoying that experience together, I was excited for that, and I'm still excited for that. And if they never patch the game anymore and the game is as it is, we'll probably still have fun with it. That said, we can have more fun, and the Metacritic scores, which have tanked the game, and the negative press that has come around the game is solely Bethesda's responsibility to resolve. And they're going to have to do some serious PR and some serious post-process work on this game to get it to a level where it needs to be. And then they're going to have to do something above and beyond to make sure that the game starts to gain traction. I could tell you the worst thing that can happen in a game, especially a multiplayer game, is when your community turns on you. Because without your community, you are nothing, especially in an online-only game. And when you have all these other great games that are coming out in the world, you cannot settle to be mediocre. You cannot settle on your laurels. And you cannot say, well, we used to be good, so just give us a chance and buy our game and it'll work itself out. Again, I'm the exception to that rule. I know that. I'm hypocritical when I'm telling you this, but I'm a unique situation. Clearly, I buy a lot of games, so it's not a problem for me to buy another one. And I really wanted that Power Armor helmet. But for most people, and the people that matter, in the majority, the vocal majority, people are not happy with the way the game is being played and received, and they are absolutely 100% right. I love everything that Fallout 76 tries to do. I love the idea of it. I love the setting. I personally like not having NPCs. I like the fact that it's an open world, lots of exploration, lots of fun things to do with your friends. I really do like that. And I think that once the game starts to gain some traction, similarly how Ubisoft fixed, so to speak, Rainbow Six Siege, how they started to fix The Division, I am hoping that Bethesda can take some of that traction and some of that knowledge that they hopefully have learned now and apply that into Fallout 76. And I hope in a year from now, we can talk about the game in a different light. But as I have to rate the game right now, based on the bugs, based on the glitchiness, the bad AI, the crashing, the non-options, the inconsistency, the bad draw distance, the ugly frame rates, even on a 2080 Ti, I have to give this game a very low score. I'm going to probably give it right now in its current state a 5 out of 10. And for me, that is extremely, extremely low. And it would have been better if other things could be fixed, obviously. But it's as good as it is because I'm able to play with my wife, because we're able to have fun doing that. If she was not in the picture, I probably would have bought this game and said, well, I got a really cool helmet, and I probably wouldn't have touched it again. It's really that bad. But I see the patch notes coming. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm a fan of Bethesda. I'm a fan of the work that they do. And I'm optimistic that one day they're going to be able to deliver a game that we thought the game was going to be, that we can talk about it in a different light. But for now, Bethesda's going to have to really take this with a grain of salt, and they're going to get roasted online. They're going to get roasted in social media, and it's going to remain that way for a very long time until that they can prove to the fans that they have listened and actually addressed the game. There are so many other discussion points we could have about this. There are other YouTube channels that are dedicated to hating this game. That's not the place that I want to be in. I'm going to go back and enjoy it for what it is. I'm going to be optimistic when we get the updates that I think we deserve, and I'm hopeful that in sometime in the future, this game will actually be decent. But for now, it's not. And with that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.